All right, Chris, so the greatest dynasties in recent memory to me are the 49ers and the Pats, and both of those spanned about 2 decades each, with the Pats winning 6 rings, the Niners winning 5, unless we kind of throw in those bullies in the 70s, the Steelers that won like 4 rings in 8 years. So with the Pats seeming to come to the end of their reign, I want to talk about the teams that are set up best for a dynasty run here in the 2020s. So at number 3, I'm going with the San Francisco 49ers because honestly, this should remind you a lot of the team that your dad played for back in the 80s or so when they had that defense that just gave quarterbacks fits. Now, I'm not crowning anybody on San Francisco's team as being the next LT, but when you have Bosa, D Ford, DeForest Buckner, all these guys that can wreak havoc and you don't have to bring additional pressure, that can set yourself up for success. And when you already have a guy like Jimmy G and all these other guys already signed, I feel like the trajectory for the Niners is pointing up, but the Niners are set up for a hell of a run. Now, at number 2, I'm going with the Ravens because I feel like the Rams caught everyone off guard in the early 2000s with the greatest show on turf. And now the Ravens come with that ground and pound beatdown that it seems like the league's not ready for. Like, it seems like everybody in the league forgot how to tackle right now. And now the Ravens are running the ball more than any other team in the league. And I feel like unless teams catch up here soon, the Ravens may be able to catch some folks off guard and, kind of run off a couple rings here shortly. And at number 1, I can't help but go with the Chiefs because I've already talked about Pat Mahomes being the third splash brother like Klay Thompson and Steph Curry. But at the same time, when you have Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce, you have some young guns on defense like a Chris Jones, like this team is set up to where they could run off about 3 rings in 4 years. And so I feel like unless somebody slow these Chiefs down soon, they can go on a hell of a run for a long time.
Yeah, listen, I'm with you. My teams are the same as far as my list of 3, too. Now, listen, I want to say this. I did think about the Buffalo Bills a little bit. Mm-hmm. I did think about the Seattle Seahawks a little bit. Yeah. Okay, but my number 3 team, I'm going with the Baltimore Ravens. I'm going to put them at 3. And your points, they're all real. You're right. I mean, it's Lamar Jackson. We've never seen anything like this. We've never really seen a team with this type of approach. But my big thing, too, will be, okay, I got to see Lamar just continue to develop as a passer and play that way too, because he's not going to be able, like 2 years from now, 3 years from now, 4 years from now, to be able to run effectively and I think take that pounding consistently as he gets older in age. And of course, he's got to get better as a passer, and he is getting better. I don't doubt that he will, but I just don't know how much. My number 2, I'm going with the San Francisco 49ers. I mean, you made all the great points. You're right. I mean, hey, the team is set up. They got a ton of young talent. They got a ton of guys on rookie contracts. They have some of these guys who are running out of their rookie contracts. They do have the franchise tag available. Mm-hmm. You're right. They got the quarterback. They got Deebo Samuel, a young receiver. George Kittle still in the rookie contract. A stable of running backs. I don't think it's going to matter with the Shanahan run scheme. Okay? And they got all their really draft capital and everything like that, the assets at their disposal, to where I just can't see them falling off. I can't. I'm with you there. And my number 1 is exactly the same as yours. Of course. Yeah. I mean, of course. Right? The guy is the best player in the game right now. Yeah. I mean, there's nobody better than number 15 wearing red and yellow. He's the best player in the sport. He can carry a squad when the squad is playing less than, like we saw the last 2 weeks. He's almost becoming indefensible. So they got a lot of things I like. You're right. And with Patrick Mahomes, I got to make them number 1 as far as a team to look for being a dynasty.
Well, it's good to see that we're both on the same page. I just got one question for you before we wrap this up then. If we had to pick another team to throw into the mix, like the 2 that come to mind for me, the Texans and the Packers. And it's 2 different dynamics where you have an Aaron Rodgers who's established, known as one of the best quarterbacks to ever play in the league, with a young nucleus built around him. And then we have a guy like Deshaun Watson, who a lot of people compare to Michael Jordan. And there's a team that's made it to the playoffs a couple years in a row. Like, how do you see both of those teams shaking out as far as being able to get on a hot run real quick to win a couple rings?
Okay, so this is what I'll bring up. The Texans, I mean, you're right. Watson, arguably the second best quarterback in football in my eyes, right? What worries me about the Houston Texans is they've traded a lot of draft picks away the last few years. They got J.J. Watt, who's getting up there in age, right? DeAndre Hopkins, he's a middle-aged receiver at this point, too. So I guess that's where I worry about their future. And then Green Bay, you make points there, too. But we're also, hey, Aaron Rodgers, you know me. I'm the president of his fan club. Yeah. I mean, we're going down now. I mean, it's no longer like, oh, he's going to keep getting better. No, I think, it's going to be a fight for him to stay the same as or even be better. He's going to be going downhill from this point. So that's why I didn't throw them on the list. They were on my long list, but not the short list.
I get you.